I was going to go easy on you, not to hurt your feelings.
You f***ing irritate the shit out of me!
I'm only going to get this one chance. It's just a feeling I've got, like something's about to happen, but I don't know what.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'm a
Hey, what's going on, peeps? It's that time again. Welcome to episode 65 of Gap Sell Keenan. For those of you who know, this is a real sales call. Where do you get to be the fly on the wall and watch somebody else sell somebody? Right here. Right here. This is where you get to do it. You get to watch someone else sell. And this is a real sales call. So if they find a problem that my company has, if ASG has, or they find a problem that I have, and they can solve it, I will buy. I will buy. I believe we actually just bought from the last person. Now, sometimes they can't do it, and we have to do it for ourselves, and we still buy. But they got to figure it out. So buckle up, sit back, and watch a real live sales call and see if you can learn from it. So what does that mean? Today, we have a Miss Carolyn T. Carolyn, welcome.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to learn from what you have to share.
Okay, you look nervous.
I am a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
I've not done a live call before, but I put myself out there, so I'm willing to get feedback.
Good on you. Good on you. So did you watch any of these before you came on today?
I did not. I probably should have.
Oh, my goodness. Woo! Here we go.
I'm just going to be frank.
All right. I don't know who Frank is, but I think he and Ernest are related somehow, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, everybody. She didn't watch one of these shows, so this is going to be interesting. But you read the book.
I have. Yep. I read the book, and I just refreshed it as well.
Okay. All right. So I'll give you a minute or two just to sort of set the tone for everybody here. What is it your company does? At least give everybody some context of where we're going. And
Sure.
then when you're done with that, you've got 15 minutes of my time.
Okay. So Heartland is a fintech company.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Someone says, is it muted? Daryl or Darren, can you not hear? Everybody else, can you hear? Can folks hear? If it's you're having trouble hearing or something, let me know. It should be fine. We'll see what happens. All right. I apologize. No one said anything yet. We'll see what happens. All right. Have at it.
So Heartland Payment Systems is a fintech company. We do payments processing for businesses, both online and in-store. My area of focus is with human capital management and our payroll and HR solutions. So that's what I've been working on for the last 6 years with the company. I'm a military spouse, and so this is the only company that I've come across that allows me to have a career while moving around the country for my husband's career as well. So I've been really thankful to work for them. But that's a little bit of what we do. We also have point of sale solutions for businesses, and then some analytics and gift card solutions as well with our new acquisition of Cuomo.
Okay. All right. There you go. There's the context. The floor is yours, Miss Carolyn T.
So I did a little bit of research, Keenan, before we got on this call, and I saw that you have about 21 employees at a sales growth company. Are you using any kind of solution to pay those employees currently?
What do you think?
I would say Paychex or ADP, but that would be just my guess.
So the answer is yes, we are, but we use JustWorks.
JustWorks. Okay. And are those employees W-2 employees or 1099 or a combination of the two?
Combination.
Okay. How many W-2 employees do you have? And are they all located in Colorado or are they somewhere else?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. Shame on me. 7 or 8. And no, they're all over the place.
All over the place. Okay. Does JustWorks provide you, or do you have an employee handbook in the business that you're having
Yes.
employees sign off on? Okay. And when was that updated last?
This is Brady's realm. I'm going to say in the last 12 to 24 months.
Okay. Sorry, just taking some notes here. I can't talk and type at this or write at the same time.
Don't
Can
even
you?
stress it.
What kind of benefits are you offering to your employees currently? Anything like paid time off, vision, dental, health, 401k?
Yes, 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 no. So we have unlimited vacation time. We have unlimited vacation time. Then we have health, dental, no 401k. Yeah, we offer 401k now. Yes, Colorado, you have to. So yes, we offer 401k.
Okay. Is that through the state plan, or do you have your own company sponsored plan?
I believe we're doing it through JustWorks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been with JustWorks?
Sorry, Brian Grover, you're funny. That was good. 2 years, maybe?
2 years.
8 months, 2 years, somewhere in there. I don't know. Time flies. Probably 7 in my little head, but no, about 2 years probably.
Okay. Do you remember why you switched to them? What was the benefit of going that route?
We left them from ADP because I don't think we would get, because they were much better and much more competitive at providing health insurance and stuff. So when we started giving everybody health insurance, the health insurance plan and all that stuff was much more robust and affordable and worked for us.
Okay. Are they a professional employee organization, or do they do your payroll? Like you're filing
payroll.
They're filing your taxes under your tax ID?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh. Are they paying my tax? Like they're paying my taxes as a W-2 perspective. They're not paying my tax at the end of the year when I got to file.
No, I mean, so there's two different types of structures that some employers have. One is a professional employee organization where that business is filing the employee's wages under their tax ID. So I just wanted to make sure that your tax ID was being used when you're filing your quarterly returns for the business.
I don't do quarterly returns.
You don't? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure they would be doing it for you.
No, they don't do it either. So I manage my own taxes for the entire company.
Okay. So is your accountant filing the 941s?
Yes.
Okay. What did you see as the benefit to doing it that way? Just so that you have more control?
Yeah, 100%. So I take a salary and I pay that entire salary to taxes in my W-2.
Okay.
And then I take distributions. Now I invest heavily back into the company. So my distributions are sort of sporadic, and because it's public, I'm not going to go too far into how I spend my money, but so I leave a good portion of the money in the business. And then my accountant, she tracks our revenue and expenses and our net profit each month. Okay. Right. And then based on what we do each month and based on my salary contributions, she assesses what I may or may not have to pay in taxes, right, for that month. And so I'll either accrue positive, I don't have to pay, I didn't pay enough, or in some rare instances, I paid overpaid. And so then she tracks at the end of the quarter. She's like, all right, this is where you should be. You're either ahead or behind. What do you want to do? And then depending on what investments we made, depending on what's going on, depending on what we're anticipating, I tell her to make a payment or not.
Okay. So that's for your personal salary.
I'm sorry?
For the employees. No, that's fine. That's for your personal salary. For the employees, because I know JustWorks has a couple different solutions, and one of them is that professional employer organization where basically the employees belong to JustWorks as a business.
No.
That's
they
not
work
what you're
for
doing.
us. No.
Okay.
No, I see what you're
Just
saying.
want to make sure.
They're W-2 for JustWorks, but no. They're under our ID number.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because sometimes some people are on a different one platform versus.
So you're 8 minutes in now. You're 8 minutes in, and I have no idea where we're going with this. So here's your first piece of feedback, right?
Okay.
If this wasn't Gap Selling Live, you asked a buyer for 15 minutes of their time, or whatever time you asked, correct?
Yep.
Right, and you spend 7 or 8 of it now asking about things about my business I already know about. Right. Okay. And so if I'm sitting here and you cold call me, I didn't call you in. Different story if I called you in. But if you cold call me or ask me for my time and I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm starting to be like, okay, this isn't valuable to me.
Okay.
Why am I here? What am I getting? So keep going, but keep that in mind. Okay. You're running out of time. Where do you want to take this call?
Yeah.
Take a breather. You're fine. You should have watched those other ones. That's all I'm going to tell you.
I should have. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
There were 65 of them, and you didn't watch one. Damn.
I failed. So let's go to the benefits. You said the JustWorks handles all of that. What kind of I'm so sorry, guys. I feel so unprepared and discombobulated. This is what I get, right, for not watching the other ones. I'm sorry for wasting everybody's time.
Hold on. Daniel Cassetta said it best, right? So I want you to breathe. I do not need you getting too emotional out here right now. We don't need none of that, okay?
Yep.
So think about this, okay? Whether this is being live or not, you're getting a chance to learn. But if you weren't getting a chance to learn, you're doing this to your customers.
Yes.
So you told me you went out and researched. So I'm pretty comfortable that what you're doing to me right now is probably what you do with the majority of your discovery calls, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that fair? I'm checking in. Is that fair?
Yes.
So
I do go and look up the number of employees typically for the business, who the decision maker would be, and who I would need to talk to get a conversation with them.
Okay. So that's good. But once you have this, you probably ask them the same types of questions you just asked me, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the good part of this thing. You now know that what you're doing doesn't work or isn't very good because you're doing it now and you're realizing, holy shit, what the fuck have I been doing? This is terrible, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about what problems do you solve for a company? So what's the name of your company again?
Heartland.
Heartland. Yeah. Okay. The Heartland. It must be Iowa or some shit. But anyways, so what does Heartland do? What problems does Heartland solve for businesses better than JustWorks or Paycheck or ADP, right? Like what problems do you solve better?
So we problem solve typically customer service better. I'm always available for clients after I sign them up for our solution for any questions or concerns.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt because you're on the wrong road. So I hope your managers are watching this and I hope your leaders are watching this for two reasons. One, either you woefully messed up, which I don't believe is the truth, or your management team is not supporting you properly. Because I asked you, what problems do you solve for business better than ADP and JustWorks, et cetera? You told me you provide better customer service. Notice providing something isn't a problem. It's after the fact. So another way of looking at this is I'm going to try it this way. I've never done this before. See how this happens. If you're a business owner, and you owned a business and you had JustWorks or ADP or Paychecks, what would be going on in your business at the time? Not what do you want? This is very clear distinction. What is going on inside your business where you say, fuck this, I can't do this anymore, I need to switch?
In my experience, it would be people messing up the payroll processing or making mistakes, employees not getting paid on time, taxes not being paid on time, penalties. I'm not able to connect with somebody to answer my questions.
Okay, so I can live with that's a good start. Okay, that's a good start. Now, my gut is telling me there's more here. I just don't know that for fact. Okay, so here's why you're at least heading in the right direction. If my taxes weren't being paid on time by JustWorks or ADP, you bet your sweet ass I'd be pissed off, right? Yeah. So I'd consider moving. What was the other one?
I wasn't able to reach somebody for assistance with a question.
Okay. If I need assistance, I'm going to be pissed off. Another one is here's another one. If I end up making a mistake and being out of compliance in a particular city, right? So remember I told you that I had employees all over the country. So if we made a mistake and we were supposed to do something in California or provide some type of service, or I don't know, and we messed that up and got fined or we're out of compliance or at risk of being fined, you're damn straight I might be pissed to want to move on, right? So those are real problems I could have. Now, the real tough question is, does ADP and JustWorks and Paychex fuck that shit up very often?
Yes.
No, that's a question. That was a question.
Oh,
Do they fuck that up very often?
Yeah, it can happen. I've heard that happen quite often from clients, but usually those are the ones that are open to having a conversation because that's what they've experienced.
Okay. So those people, when that happens, they're in the market to change. So outside of those, is there other reasons people would change?
If they're out of compliance with human resources laws for the state or regulations, Department of Labor, or if they don't have anything at all in place, that's typically where I see a lot of value that I can add and Heartland can add to them. Our HR solutions are very proactive and also don't cost as much as hiring an HR professional into the organization to handle that information, that process for them. Okay. We also are able to support them with an ongoing team of people rather than hiring one person. Like I said,
does JustWorks not offer that?
I'm not quite sure about what they offer on that.
Oh, you better be. Ooh, Carolyn,
that's one that I don't come across very often, frankly. ADP and Paychex are the more primary ones, but I will do some digging into JustWorks. All right,
does ADP and Paychex offer that?
They do. Yes, they do.
Okay. So it's not really a difference unless they're screwing up, correct?
Or if they're not providing the service like they said they were going to, that's common.
Okay.
They sign a client up for monthly calls and then that doesn't happen.
Oh, okay. So now that we've had this conversation, I want you to start the discovery over. And what are you going to do different this time?
I'm going to ask what problems you might be having.
Hey, now you said you read the book.
I did, but I got nervous.
Before we give you a second chance, I'm going to ask you to help me out.
Okay.
Okay. You said you read the book 3 years ago and you've tried to implement it. And then you went back and you read it again the other day and tried to refresh up on it. Mm-hmm. Do I talk about the importance of finding a problem a lot in the book or not very much?
A lot.
So I mean this with all my heart, so don't take it the wrong way. Then why didn't you do that?
I got nervous and I have a routine and I tried to implement what I refreshed on just the other day, and I got out of my loop, out of what I typically do.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking you to help me out is we have trained hundreds, if not thousands of people in this. Hundreds of thousands of people have read the book, right? Mm-hmm. Hundreds of thousands. And they tell me, oh, I'm a gap seller. And they can't, and they don't go try to find a problem. I, for the love of God, cannot understand why this is so hard for people, even for people who say they're gap sellers. And I love the book, and I spend 5 minutes with them trying to sell me or ask them questions, and it's not even remotely product centric. It's not even remotely problem centric. I don't get it. So I was hoping you could help answer that riddle for me.
I think without maybe feedback coaching and trying to implement something on your own, you're not seeing exactly where you're missing the mark. And so reading the book and having a refresher and putting together questions to kind of uncover that problem is all something that I've done, but it seems like maybe I haven't put together the right questions or figured out what problems would be across industries that we could fix versus because frankly, what I try and do is uncover that client specific problem with asking my questions that I have. But that does take longer than 15 or 20 minutes. And so it can be a little bit more of a lengthy process.
All right. So, all right. That was helpful, right? A lot of people, thanks to everybody here. I'm watching this. Everybody's chiming in. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. So here you go. Give you another shot at it. Okay. Let's start from scratch.
So if you're using JustWorks, Keenan, and if you had to change something right now about what they were doing for you, what would be the top problem that you're seeing from your perspective and using them?
That's an interesting question. Not that bad. Nothing, to be honest with you. Nothing. I haven't experienced anything that has risen up to me that they've screwed up or put us in a bind or whatever. Now, Brady handles them on a day-to-day basis. Okay, well, this is our fault, not theirs. Brady went on vacation, and I had to do something in there. I don't know if I had to add an employee or something had to be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the CEO of the company, and I couldn't do it. No one had put me in as a user, right? So so I got these little people on, on the call center saying, "I'm sorry, we can't help you." I'm like, "Are you high? This is my company. Like, I got to get this done. What do you mean I can't do this? This is my." It says, "Well, you're not that." And so I think that was on our end. Outside of that, no, nothing I can think of.
Okay. That's fair. Do you find that they are assisting you with any tax credits that you could be eligible for as a business with multiple employees across the country? There's some tax credits that you could be eligible for with hiring new employees. So I always like to ask about that.
To my knowledge, they have never approached us about tax credits that we could be getting or about any type of tax policy or business tax planning. No.
Okay.
That was a good question. Everybody, you know what she did? Everybody paying attention. Everybody pay attention. Put in the comments, what did she just do right there that was really, really, really good? Let's see what they say. But you can keep going. That was a great question.
Do you find that there are any issues with updates about labor laws for the different states that you operate in, or if you hire a new person in a new state, are they proactively reaching out to you about what you have to comply with there?
Yes. I don't, again, I feel bad. Brady could have probably done a better job of answering some of these, but yes, I do know for a fact they've given us warning. How proactive is it? I don't know. But I know that we weren't doing something in California, and they were like, "Hey, yo, you got to get this done. You're not doing it in California." So yes, so they're giving us warnings. Do we have quarterly sit downs? I don't believe so. Do we have a person dedicated to us that connects with us on a regular basis? I don't believe so. When we're hiring somebody in a different state, again, Brady handles this on a day-to-day. I know that they're pretty not reactive in a negative way, pretty reactive. Like they're responsive. That's what I'm looking for. They're pretty responsive. They're very responsive when we're like, "Hey, we're doing this. We're hiring this person. What do we need to know? What's happening?" Right. So, yeah, they're fairly responsive. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Are they helping you? Do you have any problems with keeping track of the employees' hours if they're hourly, or is everybody on a salary?
Okay, so I like where you're going, but ask that question. Ask the first question first.
Are they supporting you with?
No, stop focusing on JustWorks now. Ask my business question first.
How are you keeping track of employees' time?
No. You're missing in Gap Selling. This is physical and literal. Okay. You asked a question and then said if or something like that. Don't do that. Ask the question first. Then if it fits, go further. If it doesn't, don't waste my time.
Okay. Are all your employees salary or are they hourly?
All salary.
Okay.
Oh, that's not true. Oh, I have one hourly. That's right. I have one hourly. Sorry, Sean.
How are you keeping track of Sean's hours for his time worked?
I have no freaking idea how they do that. None. Okay. I think I'm going to go out on a limb. Brady's always watching him, so she isn't chiming in right now. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I want to say we just guarantee him the hours and trust, and we just bank those hours every week because I don't think he ever goes over. But I could be wrong. I have no idea how they track it. It's only one person. He's only part-time. He was a college student.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Do you have any problems or what is your system around record retention for employee paperwork and new hire paperwork and time and attendance?
We don't have time. Okay, so now be careful. You asked about time and attendance. We don't do.
Okay.
For him, for that one employee?
Yeah, for that one employee.
Oh, yes. We just started using. See, this is good. It's all coming back to me now. Sean chimed in too. It's all coming back to now. We use JustWorks time thing. They have a time tracking. Yeah, time and attendance tracking system. So we use theirs.
Okay. How are you staying compliant with the ACA and reporting the health and benefits to the IRS?
We don't have anybody on ACA, so I have no clue.
Okay. But you said that they have health and vision, right? And dental, those medical benefits. So if they have those benefits, the 1094s and 1095Cs are supposed to be reported to the IRS for those employees having health insurance.
Oh, I have no idea who does that. I'm assuming JustWorks. I'm assuming.
Talk to me a little bit about your human resources department and who handles that at the organization.
Good pivot. Who handles that? Brady handles it all.
Brady handles.
And this is good to know. I am never going to I don't care how big we get. I am never going to have an HR department. Ever.
Never.
Ever. I want nothing to do with HR. Nothing.
So what would you do then if you were not going to have an HR department?
I'm going to outsource it to stay compliant. That's all I care about, staying compliant. HR, I have no, unless I find the greatest HR guy or girl in the world who understands what HR is really about, because I got no patience or time for the bullshit that HR buries a company under. Tammy got her feelings hurt. We need to, no, Tammy can leave. Tammy can get the fuck out, okay? Like, literally. Well, Tammy doesn't like the language in this organization. Tammy should have watched my videos before she took the job here. Like, no. Can't stand
Tammy should have known that how it was going to be.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's some HR person out there who's going to tell me I'm wrong. It's good. I'll look in the comments. But if anybody had figured out, I'm black and I'm 55, which means I fit 2 of those categories, old people and minority. So, and I got more women working for me than men. So we're about as diverse as you can get. So don't pull the diversity card. So after that, it's only butt feeling hurt card. And I got no time for butt feeling hurt card. No time for that shit.
None of it. So outsource to, just in general, are you outsourcing all of that to JustWorks right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an insurance agent that you work with for your workers' comp policy or any of those other health or vision dental policies, or
no, they all go through JustWorks. I'm assuming our workman comp goes through them as well. I don't know why I would do it separate. I remember I used to do it separate before I went with ADP or something, but again, I'm assuming they do everything.
Okay. And how much turnover do you typically have with the employees that you're hiring or have employed currently?
How much
turnover? What? How often do they leave and you hire somebody else?
Good question. Not very often. I mean, we're small, but I mean, I would think we've only had one person leave in the last year. Nope, two. One we let go and one who chose to move on.
Okay. And does that encompass the 1099 contractors as well, or?
No. Oh, no. If we count them, we've had 2 of those people leave.
Okay. 2
of the 1099s leave and 2 of the W-2s in the last year. It's interesting here. We have a very interesting culture. You make it a year or 2 and you're here for life. You don't make it a year or 2, you're out. Like, you're out. Yeah, like this is a crazy culture. You freaking love it and you embrace every minute of it, or you just can't handle it's very accountability focused. Very accountability focused.
That's awesome. A lot of people don't have that in their organization.
Because most people can't handle it. And so it's trust me, it's hard to run a business when you're accountability focused. Because you lose a lot of people in the beginning. It's hard. So they trade accountability to keep employees around. But I just think that's pushing the can down the hill or down the road, where that phrase is.
Yes, I would agree with that. What are you mentioned you don't care how big you grow. What are your plans to grow in the next, say, year or 2? Do you have any?
Yeah, we've been doubling pretty much for the most part over the last few years. The expectation is to continue to do that.
So going from doubling, meaning going from 20 to 40 would be the next step.
Oh, no, we don't need. Oh, good question. I speak in terms of revenue. We don't need to double our people to double our revenue.
Got you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you had to
salesperson. So this is a very good, very, very good question. Then you got to pivot to find a problem, because you've been, again, these questions are better. You notice my engagement, but you still haven't driven me to a problem. And so I'm like, okay, this is nice, but you haven't got me a reason to buy it, or you haven't found one to buy it. But
I haven't found one.
Okay.
Other than those tax credits. So what I was going to say is it seems like you're in a really good spot with JustWorks. My focus would be on those tax credits. I have some programs that you would be eligible for, such as the work opportunity tax credits. Are you familiar with that program?
Never heard of it.
No. Okay. So it is a tax credit program that's been around since 1995. It specifically applies to new employees that you're hiring into the business, not 1099s, but W-2s. And it applies to them when they fall into certain demographics. And typically those are not ones that you're having conversations with the employee about, such as if they're an ex-felon or in a family that's on food stamps or TANF, or if somebody's been unemployed for 27 weeks or longer. Veteran is also a category. Or SSI recipients, people who live in designated rural counties. So there is a time-sensitive process to be able to claim that tax credit.
Stop. So this is good. But so now that you told me all the categories, for you to start talking about time-sensitive, that's not what you want to focus on. You should have pivoted right there and said, have you ever hired anybody in those categories, and or have you ever hired anybody, or is anybody on your payroll right now that fits into those categories? That should have been the question. Right? Because you're trying to determine if those matter to me, right? And let's just say oh my God, 2 people, ex-military, or one of them has been on food stamps for a while. She's my admin. I'm making that shit up, right? Yeah. And then, okay, watch this. If I had said yes and said 2 people, what should your next question be?
If you said yes. Well, how did you know that they were on those in those categories?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Well, how I knew doesn't matter. What are you trying to do? You try to get me to go with your company, right?
Yeah.
So what should you have asked when I said, "Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I do have 2 employees, 3 employees that fit that come from that criteria."
So how would you screen any new employees for eligibility?
Nope.
Okay.
So what did I tell you in the beginning? You asked a good question earlier.
Yep.
That's how you found this out. Now you told me who qualifies. So what question do you want to ask? How do you want to? No, not that, Brendan. Not when do those people start? What is your right now? You have a chance. Now I made this up, but I'm trying to teach you. Here's your chance to get in. What question do you want to ask?
I'm not.
Kelly, you're getting closer. Kelly Biggs is getting closer.
I'm not quite sure what question to ask. I would continue talking. I would have talked about the time-sensitive process and how.
No, that's a waste. No. You asked me if I have these people. I say yes. I have 2 or 3 of these people on my payroll right now. Okay, and I've been telling you this whole time. I've been using JustWorks. The only question you should have asked right then is, "Oh, did JustWorks tell you about these credits, and are you getting them?"
Okay.
Remember, it's finding a problem. You are so obsessed with trying to understand how I'm doing shit and how I understand. You're not translating that into an active problem that would create agitation. So I'm like, I can't stay with JustWorks. These motherfuckers just cost me $30,000. Do you see what I did right there? You have to get me to a place that I'm uncomfortable to change. Ask me or teaching me how to recognize these employees. That's fine and dandy. Later, maybe, right? Yeah. Maybe, or if I say I don't have them, and then with so small as my company is, probably not hard to figure it out. But if it's a bigger company, like, okay, you could say, I get 100 employees, and then you could say, so do you realize that in many cases, 20% of these people actually come from these? But you wouldn't know because you can't ask those questions. Yeah. See what I did right there? So then you can say, has JustWorks helped you identify those people? No. That's something we can do. How much do I get per credit? How much do I get per credit? Roughly. Make it up.
$3,500.
$3,500. And I got 15, 20 people. Oh my God, that's $60-something thousand. In JustWorks is not helping me get that money. All right, I want to talk to you. Yeah. See what I did there? Right? Yes. But you got it. It's your job to lead me that way.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So Does JustWorks help you identify those tax credits? I had asked that earlier too, and you said no. They didn't say anything about that process.
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. No, I don't believe. I may have had an employee. Again, we don't know anything. I may have had an employee about a year ago who might have fit into that single mom, living at home, right? So she might have fallen into the TANF category. Of course, I never asked her. Yeah. At least I know what TANF is. Some of you out there don't know what TANF is. Go fucking do your research. But so she might have, right? I remember a long time ago, I had a guy who had been out of work for a really long time. He was on welfare and he was a mess, and I didn't save him, but I gave him a job because I want to help him out. So, man, I feel like a goddamn charity case all of a sudden. I just thought of another employee that was out of work for a long time, single mom. I gave her a job. Jesus, I'm a charity case person. Anyways, so yes, there could have been in the past. No one said anything to me. I didn't know anything about this. So I don't think anybody now, though.
Yeah. Okay. And it would only apply to new hires that you brought into the business. So that's the reason why I asked what you're saying.
And here's the time frame you're talking about.
To grow. Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, I would say, Keenan, you're in a really good spot with JustWorks. Okay. There were some things that you weren't sure what they were doing for you. So if you were a prospect that I was talking to in general, I would
keep going.
I would say, let's get a conversation with Brandy.
Brady. If you ever hear you call her Brandy and you're fucked, you'll never talk to her again. We are a real company. We have real money. Why would you not do that now? I would. Let's have a conversation. That's not what you said a second ago. You said, well, if this were a real call, I might have asked for time with Brandy. That's literally what you just said to me.
Yes, you're right.
And that's why I kept going like this, because I knew where you were going and I wanted you to actually ask for the time with Brady.
Okay.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
Why?
Because I forgot for a minute that you were potentially buying, and I was treating it more as like a training call.
I swear to God, I will buy if I can make my life better. For the love of God, if we get more out of this than we're getting today, we'll leave JustWorks, right? I'm a loyal guy, so it can't be this small. It has to be a pretty big gap, right? Yeah. Like I'm a loyal guy, you guys, almost to a fault. I'll stay with the company and deal with some of the pains and bruises because I'm loyal to them if they've done good by me. But if it gets to a certain point, I'm like, hey, I love you, but you ain't stepping up, so I can't be loyal anymore. So I'll give you time with Brady.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything there, but you can find out.
I will. And I think that otherwise the gap that I'm seeing in how they're handling business for you and what we could provide isn't that large from what you've described, but there is that area of the tax credit. And so having that conversation with her and making sure that I'm seeing everything correctly would be helpful.
Okay. All right. Well, good. So look, you did a good job. You're a great student. I hope this was valuable to you.
Yes.
Okay. And my recommendation is stop trying to sell.
Okay.
I say this, I think I said almost every show. Stop trying to sell and start trying to help. Okay. And the only way you can help is if you understand where you help. So what problems exist. This is the key piece. Right? Put yourself in that buyer's shoes. Why would somebody switch to me? Right. And it's not, because I can do this, I can do. No, what problems, what is going on in their world right now that would cause them to change? This is going to be the horrible analogy, but it's going to be really good. How often you got 2 young kids? How often would you ever let a stranger hold your kid?
Never.
You're on that plane coming to Colorado and your kid is screaming. And the other kid is screaming too. And there's a stranger right there says, here, I'll hold it. You take care of him. Tell me you're not giving that lady your kid.
Yeah. Yeah. In that scenario.
It's the problem. It's the problem. It doesn't matter if that woman has ever had kids in her life. It doesn't matter if she's good or not. As long as she's kind in that moment and you here, please, thank you. Because she got run off with her. You're going to do it. You're not going to do it if the kid's just kind of being annoying because you feel like you're in imposition, right? It's the size of the problem. So you need to understand what problems you guys solve, what those problems look like, how those problems are defined or measured, and then the rest of your discovery should be go looking for those.
Okay.
Once you find those, then you can start talking about how you solve them.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yes. I think I understand that, but I struggle with the execution of uncovering those problems. So I will go back and
get the book, take out your book, right? And go to page, I believe it's 176. Let's see how good my memory is. No, 76. It's page 76. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let's see what I got. Yes, page 76. And do the pick. Do the problem identification chart. Do it.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe get some people inside your company to help you, etc. But do the pick, and that is your guide. Then use the pick to go find the opportunities. Use the pick to go find the problems because you've already got them laid out. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, Carolyn. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your feedback. Thank you.
I got you. I get you. Oh, so the other thing that's going to help you, please reach out to DM me. Can I put in the chat? Well, DM me, and I'll get you Brady's information. And you're also getting free access to Gap Selling online training. So you can take the Gap Selling online training and you can train yourself and get better at this.
And that was a big reason why I signed up for this, because I knew that would be helpful. So I appreciate you.
You're smart there. I'll give you that. Well done.
You.
All right, sister. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
All right. All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, folks. Carol, look, you know what I like about Carolyn? She was very coachable. Now, for those of you who've watched this before, have you guys noticed there's two types of people? There are those who've been super coachable, and then there's those who aren't coachable and they dig in. And you ever notice, generally speaking, the people who aren't coachable did the worst job and it didn't get any better and they came in pretty shitty in the first place? So if there's anything, a lesson here besides the micro lessons and the small lessons we learned and to help Carolyn sell, is coachability is an asset. Coachability is a skill. If you can, what's the word I'm working on? If you can work on that skill and then you can bring that to the table as an asset, you're going to be 10,000 times better at everything you do. So that was enjoyable. All right. So everybody, you have been watching Gap Sell Keenan number 65. That was a real sales call with a real salesperson who tried to really sell me. Now they didn't, but she got a second meeting with Brady, so who knows what'll come from it. So if you want to sell me, if you or your organization has a product or service that you believe we need that can help us out, DM me on LinkedIn, send me an email, and we will get you on Gap Sell Keenan. And if you find a problem we have, we will buy. Until next time, y'all, I know I'm going to say peace. I'm out.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something.